Welcome back. Today you can see we are back in the kitchen. I thought it would be fun to actually take you step by step and show you how I declutter a drawer in our home, and hopefully you'll be able to take these tips into your own home as well. Remember a few videos back, I think it was maybe a couple back, I talked about decluttering and starting small. Don't get overwhelmed and try to do a big space all at once because it does not happen overnight. You want to start small, whether it be a drawer, a countertop, maybe a space in your closet, maybe a shelf. Find the most used space that you want to start in, which normally would be a kitchen or a closet, maybe a bathroom, and just start small, one small space. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in and show you how I would declutter a drawer in our home. Now before we get started, you do want to set the tone or the mood around you. You can see this looks very calm, nice and relaxing. However, you jump on the other side of the camera and you're going to see the real life dishes. The dishes are sitting there and those will be put up later tonight. Right now we're going to focus on how I would clean out and organize a drawer in my own home. So first, you do want to clear the counter space or the area around you. Just give yourself enough space to take out the items so that you can look at everything. Next, you want to maybe make it a little more cozy with a candle. I did choose a rose scent soy candle today. It does smell very good. It's very subtle, so I don't mind subtle scents. I'm good with that. Or maybe you light a diffuser or you turn on your favorite music as well. So choose something to make your space cozy. And then make sure you have a comfy outfit on. I do. I have a sweatshirt. It's a little cooler outside today, so I chose a sweatshirt and jeans. So make sure you can move around that outfit. And last but not least, have your beverage of choice. Mine happens to be iced tea. I do love tea and water or chai in the morning, but this is the beverage I chose to have today. So whatever you do, just choose to make your space cozy around you, and then you're going to be able to focus more, concentrate, and be able to declutter the drawer and get it more organized. First, I want to share how we store our utensils around the oven area, so that way if you need some tips on how to store yours, it might help you as well. You can see this drawer is narrow, so I do have to use two drawers, but again, they're both in close proximity to the oven space, so we're able to reach things or get things out that we need. And then a third space that I have is the jar you see here that sits on the countertop. I like that this is nice and neutral and holds all of our wooden utensils, wooden spoons, and then of course a wooden rolling pin. Now I don't mind leaving this out. It does act like a little bit of decor, but it's also neutral and aesthetic, and we actually use the items inside of it. So these are the three areas or three ideas that we use to store our utensils around the oven. So if this helps you in your home, I hope you're able to get tips from that as well. Now we're going to go ahead and clean out one drawer. I'm not going to do both. I'm going to go ahead and take everything out of here. We're going to look at it and I'll tell you how I would declutter, get rid of the items we don't need, and then put everything back in. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into this drawer. Now we're going to go ahead and take everything out. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Remember, you do want to have a clear counter space or a clear area around you, depending on what part of your home you're organizing. But go ahead and take it all out and set it up on the counter space, or if you're in the floor doing your closet, you could set it, your clothes on the floor or on the bed. Removing everything because we do want to give the drawer a good wipe down. And I know you do see I have an organizer and some liner, but remember when I first started, I did not have all the fancy organizers and all that. Over the years, I've had an organizer here or there, and then I've changed it up depending on the need or depending on what season I was in. But you want to go ahead and give it a good wipe down. Make sure it is nice and clean before you put everything back. And then, of course, the drawer liner. Again, you don't have to do that, but this actually keeps things from sliding in the drawer. I use this a lot throughout our home, not only in the drawers, but on the shelves as well. So now I'm going to show you how we go through things and see what you may want to keep, what you want to get rid of, donate or toss. So we're going to go through that next before we put it all back in the drawer. Now we pulled everything out of the drawer and onto the counter. We want to look at what do we want to declutter. And how are we going to do that? We're going to look at our three-step rule. We're going to look at the keep, the donate, and the toss. The items you want to keep are the ones that you truly love, the ones that you use the most. Those are the ones you're for sure going to keep. The donate, maybe it's something I haven't used in a year or two and it's just not serving its purpose in this season of our lives. Well, guess what? Go ahead and donate it. Let someone else use it that really needs it or could, truly use it. And then you've got your toss category, and that means the items that are damaged or that can't be used, those have to go. So go ahead and toss those. Maybe it's something that's scratched or just, it's broken and you just can't use it. Definitely toss those. So those are the three categories you want to look at. And then look at, the first thing I would do is I would grab what you have the most of. For instance, and remember, I'm already decluttered, so you're not going to see a lot of my items. I've gotten here what we truly use and what we truly love, but I'm going to share with you how you would do it. If you have, pretend like this is a spatula. If you have, 5 spatulas, these are all spatulas. I'm going to look at, okay, how many do I usually use on a weekly basis? How many do I need to keep in here? And we actually had this about probably a year ago. I had about 5 spatulas, including the metal one. So what I did is I decluttered it down to, okay, we only use about 2 spatulas, so I only need to keep 2 in here. Now you notice I don't have a metal one because the metal ones, I learned, obviously they scratch the pans. So I finally moved the metal one to a drawer that we don't have a lot of, well, we have items in there that we use, but we just don't use them a lot. They're not like a weekly or a daily use. So if you have a drawer or space for those, or maybe you use a little jar, you can set those in a cabinet. Use something like that to keep the items you don't use a lot of. And then you know where it is, and when you need to use it, you can take it out. So the metal one stays in another drawer because I don't want to scratch our pans. But you notice I'm down to 2. These are the 2 that we love. It's our favorites. I know they don't have a long handle, but these are the ones that my husband and I enjoy the most. So we are down to the 2 spatulas that we use all the time, we truly love, and those are the ones we're going to keep. And the same with all your other utensils. Once you get through one category, you've got your 2 left. Now you get to get rid of those other 3 spatulas. Remember, we are pretending like these are spatulas. And then you can decide if you want to donate or toss those. And the same with everything else. You're just going to go through each category and see what you want to keep. So that's how I would go ahead and, again, start small. Don't start in a big space. It may take you 10 or 15 minutes. It shouldn't take long. Start small, and what you're going to realize is you're going to enjoy the space. You're going to enjoy how you can breathe. You can see everything in the drawer. And then over time, you're going to be going space by space. And before you know it, you're going to have your whole home organized, a lot less, clutter-free, and you're going to be able to breathe and find things a lot more easy. So now we're going to go ahead and put it back in, and then I'm going to share some tips to finish up the video as well. Okay, so putting it back in, of course, I have the drawer liner because it does keep things from slipping, and you can simply just start with nothing in the drawer or drawer liner. That's how I started. And then maybe one, a few organizers. If you have the nice wide drawers, of course you could get more dividers, but for this drawer, this is what works for us. So the spatulas I do like to keep here, and the other slotted spoon I put in here as well, so that keeps those organized. These bigger spoons I just put to the side. And you notice I have a little space here where I can put some, narrow things. So I do like to put, these gadgets here because they're narrow and they just fit in that space. And then all the other little items here, they can just go in here as well. Now I noticed we have a potato thing in here, which we don't use that a lot. I could actually put this in the drawer that we don't use it a lot, but I still hang on to it because we do use it on a rare occasion. So that's something I could actually declutter out of this drawer. So you guys actually got to see me declutter one item. So yay for that. And then of course the little apple slicer, it was in here, but I'm going to go ahead and move it to the drawer on the other side that you saw behind me because it doesn't need to stay in here. It can just stay over here closer to this side, and then it's just easier to access from here as well. So that's how I put everything back in this drawer. And again, just take it drawer by drawer, space by space. And before you know it, you're going to have all your drawers decluttered in your kitchen. Today I shared some tips on how you can start small and declutter a drawer or a space in your home. I hope that you'll be able to take these tips into your own home and start decluttering as well. Remember, you do want to set the tone or the mood, so you can light a candle, you can, turn on your diffuser, turn on your favorite music station, go ahead and set the tone or the mood. Grab your beverage. I did have my tea in hand. Make sure your space is cleared around you so you have room to work and take everything out. Once you take it all out, you can start the decluttering process. And again, always remember, start small. When you have a lot of stuff in your home or a lot of things, if you try to think about it all at once, you're going to get stressed. It's going to clutter your mind. You're not going to know where to start. Start in a space that you use the most, which again, that could be the kitchen, that could be your bathroom, or maybe your closet. Start in a small space in that room once you pick it. We chose a drawer today. You want to start small so that you don't get overwhelmed. When you start small, it's going to lead to those bigger momentums. You're going to keep going and keep going. And before you know it, you're going to have your whole kitchen or your whole closet or your whole bathroom decluttered. So definitely start small. And then you're going to see over time, over a year or two, that you may have your whole house decluttered. And then you're going to feel a lot better as you get through each space or each room. You're going to feel like you can breathe a little bit more. Things are going to be more peaceful, more calm. You're going to know where to find things, and it's just going to be a lot less stress for you. So I hope that you're able to get tips and ideas on how to declutter your home. If you decide to go ahead and declutter a space in your home, a small space, I would like for you to share that with me below. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.